Hi, this is Glenn from the Premier Virtual Client Success team. Going to be explaining the host training in this video, and thank you for viewing. So as a host, there are many different components to what you will be doing in your account, and we're going to start down here under settings. So when you are a host or an admin in the Premier Virtual platform, you are also getting one booth that is going to be part of your license. Now that booth is going to be found right here under My Organization. So to get started, we're going to start out here in My Organization, and you will see that there's going to be some tabs at the top under General, Users, Job Postings, and Booths. Now this is going to be where you're going to build out your booth that you can put into your own events. Now when we click in the top here under Edit Organization, you'll see here that I can then edit my logo. I can edit my About Organization, my location information, and then you can see down at the bottom would be the links that I want to appear on my booth. So this would be your website and any social media. Anytime that you make a change, please make sure that you do hit the Save Changes at the bottom so that those changes are reflected in your booth build out. So next we're going to go to users, and the users portion, this is really going to be two function. The users that you add to your account are going to have an ability to see and work on your events, as well as working as a recruiter in the booth that you're building out here in My Organization. Now, when you come in to add a user, you're just going to click up in the top corner here to add user. You're going to be putting in their first name, last name, email address. You will need to put in a phone number, and then they can fill in their job title, their military status, and their profile photo. But more importantly here is going to be selecting their role and setting their password. So under the role, Premier Virtual has 3 different roles or permission sets. Now, all 3 of these roles will have full functionality to talk with candidates inside the booth on event day. Now, when you look at the administrator role, this is going to be somebody that will have the ability to build out new events, edit existing events. They will be able to edit any booth content under My Organization. They can add users and they can delete users. When we look at the editor role, this person will not be able to build new events, but will be able to edit existing events and will be able to edit existing information on the booth found in My Organization. Now, the editor can only add representatives, and they do not have the control to delete any users. Now, a representative is going to be strictly view only. Now, though they can work as a recruiter in the booth and talk with candidates, they will have no editing capabilities to your events, your booth, and your users. Now, when setting a password, you'll see here there's 2 options. I could save the changes, and an email would be sent to this user for them to set their own password, or I can manually set that password for them. Now, I highly suggest manually setting the password, and the reason being is because many organizations have very high spam settings, and there's a good chance that the email coming from Premier Virtual could be blocked by your company's spam policies. So what you will do here is just create a password and then confirm it, save the changes, and then just let this user know that their email address and the password you just created will be their credentials to log in. Now, under job postings, you're going to see here that you can add as many job postings as you need to for the booth that you are creating. You'll click right in here to add new job posting, and this will be a simple 2-step process with the 3rd step being a review. Now, under the job title, this is going to be a drop-down list of over 5,000 job titles that we have built into the platform. Now, it is important to select a job title because this is going to help in the search fields for the candidates when they are in the lobby of the event. So if I wanted to come in here as a job title and maybe I wanted to put in cybersecurity, but maybe I have a unique job title that I call this position, I can then click into the unique job title, and then I can put that unique title that I have for this position. Now, this title here is going to be what is going to appear to the job seekers when they go into your booth and look at your job postings. And this one up here is going to be what is searchable in the lobby for the candidates when they enter into the lobby of your event. Now, under the locations, you'll just click into the locations and you'll type in a city. And you'll start to see that the drop-down box will appear. Now, if you do not see your city in this list, you can go all the way to the bottom, and then you can extend this list out by clicking on Can't Find Your City. You also have the ability here to put in multiple cities. Now, the available positions is going to be a mandatory field. And then the estimated salary is going to be optional, but it also leaves room in here for things like plus tips, plus commissions, or plus sign-on bonus. Now, I will say that the estimated salary does stand out nicely when the candidates are looking at your positions. Now, as far as the status, we only have two, active and disabled. Active simply means that this job will appear in the job fair that you are attending. And disabled means that it will not appear, but it will be archived for future use. Now, when we go to continue to the next step, we're going to be entering the job description. Now, job descriptions can be copied and pasted into this area, or they can be typed in. If you are copying and pasting into this box, these are HTML boxes, and if you are copying from, let's say, your career page and there's a lot of formatting, the formatting sometimes can cause an error to pop up that says you've gone over your character limit. Now, most likely it is not the character count that you've gone over, it's the formatting that's taking up some of that character space. If you ever see that error message, just simply cut it out, paste it into Notepad, that will remove the formatting, and then you can paste it back into the HTML box. Okay, so once you have your description in, you can continue then to review, and then you can go ahead and complete, and your position has now been added. We'll then move on to booths, and this is going to be your booth customizations. Now, in your booth customizations, you're going to have what we call 3 custom links that you get to add to your booth. These 3 custom links are what you're going to see here at the top. And these you get to title the tab that will be placed on the booth on the left-hand side. And then you're going to embed a corresponding link of where you want your candidates to be taken to when they click on that tab. So for example, we titled this Meet Our Team. And then we direct them to the Premier Virtual website to see our page where our team members are at. This is an area for you to really showcase anything that you would like about your company. Next, you'll be selecting your booth design. You'll click into Edit Booth, and this will open up all of the different categories of booth designs that we have. If you're looking for something more in the trade show look, you can click into the booth category. If you're looking for something more in a conference room setting, maybe it's something more in an office setting. Now, when you come in to these categories, and let's just say, for example, I wanted to select this design. When I select the design, you'll see here that the first option is going to have no avatar or no person in the booth. Each additional design after that does have a person or avatar in place. So you get to select which one you want. And then you will see this logo symbol. That does not mean that your logo has not been uploaded yet. It just doesn't appear when you're selecting your booth design. Want to make sure to hit that Save Changes so the changes are reflected. And then down at the bottom of the booth tab here, you're going to see a View as Attendee. This will open up a live version of your booth exactly the way that the job seekers will see it. You can then go through your About section. You can go through your job postings, make sure everything looks okay. You can click on your 3 custom links and your website and social to make sure everything is working the way that you want it to. Once done, you can just simply X out, and then your booth is complete. I'm going to click back here into users, and you're going to see here that we have multiple users here, but each of these users will have the ability to come in and put in their own profile. So then under settings, my profile, I can come in and customize my profile. Now there's not much to do here, but you'll see a general tab and a quick replies. Under the general, if I click edit profile in the top right corner, you're going to see this is where I can add my job title. I can add if I am a military veteran or active duty. I can add my profile photo, and then my address and phone number. This is also going to be where you can also change your password if you choose to. Now, the second part of the profile is quick replies, and each user will be adding their own quick reply messages. And what quick reply messages are brief statements that will be a one touch of a button, and these messages will send to candidates when you are speaking with them in your booth. So these are canned responses that will save you a lot of typing time on event day, and you can go ahead and add as many as you need to by clicking on New Message. You'll see a new box opened up. I can type in my canned response, save my changes, and then that will be ready for me to use inside my booth on event day. You are also going to have the ability to add quick reply messages in the booth itself. So if you're in the event and things are busy and you're typing the same messages over and over, you're going to have that ability to add quick reply messages from the booth itself. Now, my schedule. We do have a feature called the scheduling tool. And the scheduling tool will cover when we go into the event build outs, and I'll circle back to the My Schedule piece after that we have covered the event build out. We're going to now move up to menu, and under menu, you're going to see here the dashboard. The dashboard is going to take pretty much everything that we just discussed here on the left-hand side and put it into a one-stop shop. On the dashboard, you're going to see these boxed off sections, for example, My Schedule, and then in the bottom corner will be a hyperlink to get back to that section. You'll be able to see any upcoming events you have, any ongoing events you have, also with the hyperlink at the bottom of those boxes. You'll be able to go back into your organization overview, your booth overview, and then your personal profile, and then our training and user guides. Speaking of training, we're going to click here into the training tab, and you as the host have access to all of our training for attendees, organizations, as well as for hosts. These are YouTube videos that will always be available to you, and you can come in here and view these as well as share them out if needed. We also have user guides down below, and you can download these PDF user guides by clicking on the download button off to the right. The next thing we're going to look at is organizations, attendees, and reports. When we're looking under menu, these are going to be a global look at every event that you've ever held. You're going to get a full list of every organization that has ever registered to one of your events. you're going to get a list of all of the attendees that have ever registered to any of your events. And then you'll be able to pull reports on these global lists. As you can see here, here is your organization report and your attendee report. Now, the attendee and organization global reports here can also become your future invite lists for your next event. Now, the more events that you hold, the more that will be kind of filling in this database, and you can use these for your future invites. To pull these reports, you just want to click off the report, click on generate, and that report will generate off to the right-hand side, and you can click on the download button to download that report. So that leaves us 2 tabs left here under menu. We've got events and video interviews. So video interviews is a new feature that we have added, and it is optional for you to add this to your events if you choose to. Under video interviews, what we're doing here, and I'm going to show you this on the job seeker profile so you can have an understanding of what this is. But when a recruiter is looking at a candidate and they come into their profile, if you choose this feature, under resumes, the recruiters will be able to view the PDF resume, but also the video interview. Now you can see that this job seeker did take advantage of the video interview. And if I click watch recording, what it is you as the host get to pick through 72 different questions that Premier Virtual has built into the platform, or you can even record your own question. Now, these will be questions that will be presented to the job seeker when they're registering. Once they fully complete their registration, a box will pop open and invite them to take part in the video interview. Now, they will be presented with a question, which they can either read or listen to, and they get to record their response. Now, this is not something we can make mandatory for the job seekers to do, but it is a nice option if you want to add it into your events. Now, going back over here into the host account, if you want to add a video interview to your event, you first must create the video interview set to add to your event. When I click on video interviews, you can see that I have quite a few already built out. But if I wanted to come up here to add interview set, I'm going to title it the name of my event. You'll see then I have create new question or select from the list. If I choose select from the list, this is going to give me the 72 built-in questions that Premier Virtual already has in the system. Now I can then come through and I can pick out the questions that I want to ask. So what makes you unique? Maybe tell me about yourself in under a minute. Or who has impacted you in your career the most? Once I select my questions, I'm happy with those 3. I'm going to confirm. And now you can see that those questions are in my interview set. Now, if I did want to add my own question, I can click on create new question. And then you're going to see up here under the title, I'm going to title it what the question is. So why should we hire you? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the record button, and then I'm going to ask that question. Why should we hire you? I can then play the recording. I can re-record it if I was unhappy, or if I am happy with it, I can save the changes, and then my question has now been added in. Once I'm done with my video interview set, I can hit Save Changes, and my video interview has now been created. Now, in order to add a video interview set to your events, it has to be created first so that it is available to add when we go and build out an event. Next thing we're going to look at here is events. And in the events tab, this is going to show you every event that you have either upcoming, have had in the past, or have today or currently. You'll see that at the top that you have hosted or joined as an organization. Remember, we built a booth down here under my organization. So this will show you when clicked off joined as organization, every event that your booth has been added to. But we're going to look at hosted. You're going to notice in the top right corner that we do have this add event button. And this is going to be where you can click on add event and then have a blank slate to start building out your new event. Remember, the only users that will have the add event button will be admins. So the editor and representative will not have this button up here in the top. One other thing I want to point out here is you're going to see these 4 boxes. If I click these 4 boxes, it's then going to show me all of my events in a list format. Personally, I prefer to look at them in the event card format. It just looks a little bit better to me, but that is up to you. You can switch it back and forth.